Okie doke, so we're going to work on inequality word problems now. Here are some keywords to help you out on how to decide which inequality sign to pick, because that's really the hardest part. If it says at least or minimum, that means you're probably going to have a greater than or equal to sign. If it says no more than or max, that means it can be less than or equal to it. And then if it says more than, that's typically a greater than sign. Less than means you have to do less than it, so it's not equal to it. All right, so same technique as last time. We're going to box some numbers, underline the question, and it might be really good if you can find these keywords in there to box them as well. So Jordan has $500 in his savings account. So I'm going to start by boxing that. At the beginning of the summer, he wants to have at least 200. So there's our keyword, at least 200 in the account by the end of the summer. He withdraws. Keyword there is withdrawals each week. For food, clothes, and movie tickets. My question is, how many weeks can Jordan withdraw money from his account? So first thing I need to do is set up an inequality. So I'm going to say W is going to represent weeks because the question is asking how many weeks. I know at least 200 is going to be a greater than or equal to 200 because that's what I want him to end up with. And now I have to address this 500 and this withdrawing. Withdrawal means negative. So if I start off with $500 and I'm withdrawing 25 each week, that would be my inequality. Okay, so now I am ready to solve by subtracting 500 on both sides. I would get negative 25W is greater than or equal to negative 300. I would divide by a negative 25. And remember, when you divide by a negative, you still have to flip your inequality sign, and you would get 12. All right, so W is less than or equal to 12. What that means is that he can withdraw money for at least 12 weeks. So I'm going to write a little sentence about that. He can withdraw, we'll say less than or equal to 12 weeks. And I spelled withdraw wrong. There we go. Okay, so what that means is he can withdraw 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, as long as he does not go over, the 12 weeks. Why can't I move this? There we go. You could have said he can withdraw 12 or less weeks, anything like that. All right, let's look at our second word problem. Uber charges a $1.75 flat rate. In addition to 65 per mile, Deontay has no more than 10. So no more than 10 is a key word to spend on the ride. How many miles can Deontay travel without exceeding? So he only has $10 in his pocket and he can't spend more than $10. So without looking up at our cheat sheet, it's going to be a less than or an equal to sign. So again, if it is no more than, that means your total had better be less than the $10 because you don't have any more to spend. Next thing, I need to assign a variable. So it said how many miles, So we're going to say M is going to mean miles. And then I'm going to set up my other part of my equation. I would have 0.65 per mile because that's what it tells me right here. And then that additional 175 I would add on to my equation. So there's a lovely equation for us to solve. I would subtract $1.75 from each side. 0.65 m is less than or equal to 825. Divide by 0.65. You do get some really long decimal. I'm going to round it to 12.69. If you wanted to round it to 12.7, that would be fine, because you can go 0.7 of a mile. So what that means in our problem, how many miles can he travel without exceeding his limit? We'll say he can travel less than or equal to 12.69 miles. So if you also wanted to say he can go no more, he can travel no more than 12.69 miles. Any way that you want to say that. Just make sure that he is traveling less than or equal to that 12.69. Okay? All right, next page. Kyra just got accepted at the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. She has $900 in her savings account. She has to buy a small laptop before she begins college. The laptop is costing $600. So every week, keyword, withdrawals 30. So I'm going to be subtracting 30 from her account for food. How many times can she withdraw money for food? So times is kind of a not great variable. So it's kind of asking how many weeks she can withdraw her money. So I'm going to say W is going to mean weeks, or the times she can withdraw. Because I know it was 30 per week, keyword there. All right, so I'm going to start off with 900 bucks. That's what I have. I'm going to take away 30 each week, and I've got this $600 of a laptop that I need to buy. The tricky thing is picking the inequality sign because it didn't give you one. So basically, which one of these values can be bigger? Do I want the money in my pocket to be bigger, or do I want the total of the computer to be bigger? I want it to be equal to it so I can buy it, but this money can be more than. I can have more than the, computer cost to buy it. So that's why I'm going to pick that greater than or equal to sign. And then I'm going to subtract 900 from both sides. Negative 30, W greater than or equal to negative 300, divide by negative 30. Remember, when you divide by a negative, flip your sign. Zeros will cancel and I'll get 10. So the weeks have to be less than 10 for her to be able to buy the computer. So she can afford the computer after withdrawing less than 10 weeks. I can't seem to spell withdrawal. Alright, so she can afford that computer less than 10 weeks. So she could buy the computer after week 2. But she could go all the way up to 10 weeks withdrawing food for her to buy that computer. Okay? Alright, I can't kind of move that. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll move it up right here for now. Alright, Kenneth wishes to save at least $1,500 in 12 months. Keyword there would be at least. If he saved $300 during the first 4 months, what's the least possible average amount that he must save in each of the 8 remaining months? Okay, so at least, again, if we flip up here, at least is going to mean greater than or equal to. So I can already say that this is going to be greater than or equal to 1,500. Okay, So then I know he saved $300 in the first 4 months, but I don't know what he saved each other month. So I don't know how much is he's going to save a month. So I'm going to say M is going to mean month. So he saved $300. But you still have 8 more months. So 8M. So that 300 plus the 8 months should be at least greater than or equal to what he wants to save. So I'm going to solve this problem by subtracting 300. I would get 8M is greater than or equal to 1200. Divide by 8. I believe it is 150. Yeah. So what that means is on average, he needs to save at least 1,500 to meet that goal. So let's, goodness gracious, let me write a nice little sentence. This is awful. I apologize. Delete. Oh, I give up. Let's go. There we go. All right, a nice sentence would be, he needs to save at least 150 per month to meet his goal. So he can save more than 150 a month, just on average. He needs to spend 150 per month. All right, last question. Lexi's having a picnic for 78 people. She plans to serve each guest at least 1 hot dog. So what that means is everyone has to at least have 1 hot dog. Some people can have more. She just wants to make sure at least everyone gets 1 hot dog. Each package is going to contain 8 hot dogs. And then it's how many hot dog packages will she have to buy. So we could say H could mean hot dogs, hot dog packages, okay? All right, so we have 78 people. So I know 78 is going to go here. I know each package contains 8 hot dogs. So for every package, I'm going to get 8 hot dogs. But now I need to figure out the inequality. You need to ask yourself, which quantity should be bigger? Do I want the hot dogs that I buy to be bigger than the people? Yes, because if you don't buy enough hot dogs, you're not going to be able to feed enough people. So the reason it is a greater than or equal to sign is it is okay if you buy too many hot dogs. You just need to make sure that everyone gets at least 1 hot dog. Okay, so, and again, keyword there is at least, which means greater than or equal to if you check on the front page. So I would solve this by dividing by 8. So hot dogs that I buy have to be bigger than 1.75. But can you go and buy 1/3 of a hot dog package? No, because you'd get in trouble for ripping a package open at Kroger. So the only reason that makes sense is she'd have to buy at least 10. So a nice little sentence would be, she would have to buy at least 10 packages to feed everyone at least 1 hot dog. Okay. Okie doke. So those are inequality word problems. They are a lot trickier, mainly which way does the sign go, but use your cheat sheet and then just kind of rationalize through the problem of which way should be bigger, which side should be smaller. Okay, thank you for watching.